If you listen to YouTube in 2026, AI will instantly double your freelance revenue and cut your workdays in half. The reality looks more like staring at broken API keys and endless error logs while deadlines rapidly approach. These platforms function as operational leverage, designed to systematically automate the administrative friction that prevents most freelancers from scaling their billable hours. But accessing that leverage requires upfront effort. Every single hour you spend learning an interface or troubleshooting an integration is an unbillable hour that costs you money. We are going to calculate the true return on investment for 4 major AI categories by comparing the time you invest against the time you actually save. Because when you run a scalable freelance business, protecting those unbillable hours is your primary survival metric. Adopting tech blindly directly threatens your margins. To evaluate these tools objectively, look at this quadrant chart measuring initial setup friction on the horizontal axis against weekly hours saved on the vertical axis. First, let's plot project management AI, like Notion. Its core function generates structured project roadmaps automatically from text. To get useful output, you have to spend hours building manual templates and standardizing your entire client onboarding process beforehand. Feed the system vague client emails, and the AI generates useless filler you rewrite yourself. Garbage in guarantees garbage out. Therefore, project management AI only yields a positive return if your business structure is already highly organized before you flip the switch. Next, we map client pitch tools like Gamma. Notice the low friction and high early-stage impact for turning raw text into psychologically mapped presentations in minutes. Using this efficiently requires letting go of pixel-perfect design control. You have to trust the prompt interpretation rather than manually dragging boxes around a canvas. If you rely entirely on the initial output and skip the manual refinement phase, you risk sending clients a homogenized, generic pitch deck. Now look at Focus AI, such as Crisp. It enforces isolated work environments to purposefully compress your task timelines. This facilitates deep work. By aggressively filtering out noise and blocking distractions, you can finish a standard 8-hour workload in 4 hours. However, intentionally locking out your communication channels creates immediate friction with high-ticket clients who expect instantaneous Slack or email replies. Pitch AI accelerates your sales pipeline, while Focus AI speeds up your execution. But both force a specific sacrifice: either give up total creative control or constant client accessibility. That brings us to the heaviest category: zero-touch administrative workflows, built on automation stacks like Make.com or Zapier. Looking back at our quadrant, you can see this represents extreme setup friction for extreme hours saved. You have to map complex API connections between your inbox, your CRM, and your invoicing software, which demands a steep technical learning curve. When it works, it is a flawless operational ideal. You mark a project complete. It drafts and attaches the invoice and sends it without a click. The risk is silent failure. A broken automation can start routing data to the wrong places in the background without triggering a single error notification. Silent failures lead to disastrous outcomes, leaking confidential data or billing massive errors that permanently destroy your client's trust. Heavy automation is a high-stakes operational gamble. It is an incredible scaling tool for veterans, but an absolute catastrophe for disorganized beginners. Attempting to integrate all 4 of these AI categories at once will trigger massive tool fatigue and completely consume your billable schedule. This decision tree flowchart shows your strategy. It depends entirely on your active client volume, branching at either 3 or 5 clients. If you have fewer than 3, your primary bottleneck is sales. You don't have administrative bloat yet. Ignore the heavy automation stacks completely. Direct your limited time into presentation AI to maximize your early-stage closing rates with minimal setup friction. If you are actively juggling 5 or more clients, beautiful pitch aesthetics matter far less than keeping your workflow scalable. At this stage, you need to endure the brutal setup friction of project management AI and automation tools now. That upfront pain permanently increases your operational capacity for next month. Discard the internet hype. Look at your own operations. Select the single tool that solves your immediate bottleneck and aggressively protect your time.